sucks for them. Never die.
At the end of our lives, we're not going to be judged for the things that we did to survive. We'll be judged the reasons that we did them. How does that make you feel?
What if the reason was to save biomass?
You only care about yourself.
You're wrong. Stay in too. See on the other side.
It's mortality. It's morality. What else do we lose?
John Murphy. Worcester.
You're a slippery one, John. I was playing both sides of the fence. I doubt you've ever done anything that didn't go down to your own benefit.
Do you want to be immortal or not? You'll be a god, John. What about our friends?
And this is how we save them.
Listen, we're on your side. John!
This is how we save Raymond.
Do you care about that traitor?
I have to.
He made a deal to save all of us.
Well, maybe it's forgetting the last time you saved us. I was saving you!
I'm sorry, okay? I never meant for you to hurt.
You don't have to do this!
Worries.
It's okay. You don't need to do this.
Plus, you don't need to do this, please.
Do it.
He's already dead.
The minute you give up, you're dead.
I still want to stay.
I want to live. We've reached the point of no return. You just want to give up.
I didn't say that.
You did not say it.
All I see is a man say anything not to die.
That may be true. Looks like I should have killed you when I had the chance. I'm a little hard to kill.
Fortunately, Freddy death is not real.
Those are not.
Be okay. He always is.
I admire your loyalty to your friends.
Everybody was so surprised when I stayed behind. They also know me. You might have 5 seconds. There's not enough time. 3 seconds. If you're a hero, it doesn't trouble too. I promise I'll do what I can for you. I'm gonna save her.
Go! Now! Be hero! Now!
I'm afraid you become worthless again. Oops.
What's he do? He's being John Murphy.
Let's go, people. I did my part. No worthless Murphy.
Richard Harmon. I got turn that on. What was it like seeing that?
I don't know why I have such a feeling of putting knives into my throat. No, that was really cool.
I mean, the evolution of your hair, your facial hair, your outfits, it's kind of incredible.
It's he's a bit of a chameleon.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of an actor.
I mean, we jokingly call you the cockroach because you did make it to the end despite almost dying a million times.
A million times.
So, of all of those seasons, do you have a particular season you're very fond of?
My favorite is 2.
2? Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
And is that where you were with Jaha a lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that the growth in that, it was such an interesting storyline to play because like he killed my father. He sentenced my father to death, which set off the spiral of my mom and then me getting arrested because I was so furious about the whole thing. Like he messed up my entire life. I blame him for everything. And then to have this weird thing of like I gain respect for him and he becomes the man that killed my father, actually becomes my father figure. It was such, I was like, what an interesting thing to play. It was so much fun and getting to work with Isaiah was incredible. He's such a like magnetic actor. So that's why 2 is my favorite. But I have so much love for every season. And I got goosebumps watching that, just being like, that's right.
Pretty crazy how much you went through.
Ooh. And just, I might be in due for like an actual rewatch of the show, which I never thought I would do like fully again. I don't know.
You totally should. It's a good show.
That's what I think.
You're one of the only ones who've actually watched it of the whole cast.
It would be, I am actually.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Well, let's back up a little and go to real life. What's it like being Uncle Dickie now that Jess has a baby?
I don't give a shit.
Tell the story of when you held the child. Jess was like this. This is how Richard went to hold my child.
What do I do with this hand?
Well, like, it's just so fragile, so useless.
So when he's like 4, potty trained, can say, you know, Uncle Dickie, then you'll play with him.
I'm sure I'm gonna like him at some point.
I like an honest answer.
Yeah, I told Jess yesterday, I said if someone threw him into the harbor, I would go in and save him. I love him, of course I love him, he's my nephew. I just don't know, I don't think I have any reason to like him. He's coming in on my spot in the family, like I'm the baby of the family. So I think honestly the whole thing is a little disrespectful on Jess's part.
Good to know.
But now I don't have to have a kid because my parents they're tickety-boo with the whole thing.
Oh yeah, they're babysitting right now.
Yeah, no, me and my girlfriend say that the baby's my mom's baby, but like at Cindy's baby.
Yeah.
And Jess will admit that.
It's good to have a grandma right there though, you know?
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
But it's been kind of fun to have my old school sister back this weekend. It's been pretty cool.
Yes.
It's
Jess is back in
It's
prime form.
been great.
Well, let's switch gears and talk about, have you all seen the trailer for Final Destination Bloodlines?
Oh, really? That's good.
It makes what Murphy went through look like cake.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everyone about the movie?
Yeah, that's, tell them about the movie. Well, obviously I can't say too much. It was so much fun to make. It was a dream come true for me as a fan of the series growing up. So that when they called and told me that I booked it, I cried. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, this is incredible. And it was. Well, just like most Final Destination movies, if you haven't seen them, it's some horrible, horrible accidents befall many an unsuspecting person. That's the general basis. Death, it's like it's death. Death's just taking out people that should be dead, because that's, like, you can't cheat death, you can't escape it, so death has to come back and take you out. And it's like, it's not personal, but like, that certainly makes it seem personal.
I would say 90% of your roles are fairly dark, and
Yeah.
by choice, by design, but you're so funny. Would you do a rom-com or a sitcom?
Sitcom, I feel like that might lock me into doing just that for
Right.
too long. I love doing dark things and adding comedy to them. And like, I love it, and I don't think that was something that I knew I had in me for the longest time, because all I ever did was, you know, drug addicts and murderers and all the bad people. So I didn't think comedy was just really ever a thing. And then it was Murphy I started cracking and throwing some of my own things into it, and they really liked that, and they started writing comedy into Murphy. And that was just incredible. And then ever since, like, most roles I do now are heavily comedic, which is awesome.
That's
and in
good.
Final Destinations, that is the job that I do on that. I think I'm pretty much the comedic relief. And there's like a lot of funny moments in the movie, but I'm definitely riffing. Yeah, I'm having some jokes.
I love it. All right, well, you know what? Enough of me. Let's get the fans lined up at the microphone if you have questions for
Rock and
Richard.
roll.
I mean, let's just spend the time asking questions.
Absolutely. Thanks all for coming. This is so many more people than I thought would be in my panel. Super cool. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, you mentioned that you're the only one of the main cast who watched the whole thing.
If
Of the
Final
show,
Destination?
yeah.
Yes.
Do you have any idea why that is, or like why they didn't watch the rest of it? I
It
know
was
they're not
this year.
sharing.
On the 100, why did it? Because the memories are in the making of it. You know, like for a lot of the actors, I won't
Self-critical.
yeah, I won't speak for them. Sometimes it's hard to watch yourself.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not shy about that. I like what I like watching me. I think I did a great job. I knew I'd get a good response in this crowd. Right?
Yes. Great
I'm
question.
kind of playing with house money here, it seems like. Yeah, I think that's for everyone and their different reasons as to why they haven't seen all of it. I'm sure most of them have seen most of the show.
I think 50% here.
Okay. Well, it's too bad for them.
Yeah, exactly. They're missing out. Next question.
I promise I'm going to get to my question, but real quick, the two most impactful scenes that you have is the one where Eliza has that person in her head or whatever, and she goes,
Joseph.
Murphy, yeah, Josephine, she goes, Murphy, and you go, Josephine calls me John. That I go back to all the time when I just like need to look at the one word. And then you and Amori dancing like made me ugly sob for so long. It was so dramatic.
Thank you.
Total conversation twist. When you are trapped with Jaha at that house, kind of trying to find City of Light, and you're like going crazy.
Yeah, that was
about
some
that
of the most-
experience.
That was maybe my favorite scene that I got to do on the 100. And that scene was, they never said it, that it was, but I took it as their gift to me to, because that was my first scene as a series regular. I wasn't in the first 2 seasons as a recurring guest star. And Jason kept wanting to make me a regular, but obviously there's many hoops and things that we had to jump through because some people in studios or whatever are like, why do we need to make him the lead? He's already here. Why should we have to put his name at the front of the show? But that, we finally kind of fought long enough, and Jason fought long enough to make me a lead, that we did, and that, I always took it as that scene was like a gift to me to do, like, we're not only, and kind of proof to whoever wasn't so sure about making me a lead, he's like, not only are we going to make him lead, he's going to open the entire season by himself for 5 minutes. And that was such a boost of confidence. Yeah, it was me and Dean White. Dean White has a 12-minute long version of it. You can't open the season with 12 minutes of just me.
I watched Lost, because I'm just saying.
Fair. That's true. But it was so much fun, and we just got to jump around and play, and that was the one day that we ever shot in downtown Vancouver, because usually we're up in the mountains or at our studio. But that was in the Gentlemen's Club in Vancouver.
The bunker?
Yeah, that's their bar. It's a really fancy membership joint. So we got to shoot. That's the one time I ever got to go in there. So yeah, that's the first time I've ever been a gentleman.
Excellent question, thank you.
Okay, I know you said you didn't get to do, you haven't done as much comedic stuff, some lighthearted stuff.
Mhm.
Let me remind you of my favorite movie you've ever created, A Cinderella Story Starstruck. I just wanted to know how you got into that role and what you did and how you feel about that role now.
Yeah, I love it, and I had so much fun. If you haven't seen that movie, go see it. You'll see me in a very different light. Yeah, I was doing it because they wanted to make one of the evils. It's just Cinderella, but done in a modern way. They wanted to make one of the evil stepsisters an evil stepbrother. So I kept doing the audition and trying it, and I remember my reader was Rhiannon actually. I credit her to getting me that role. Because I kept being like, I don't like it. She's like, you're not having any fun. I was like, no, I'm not. I don't know how to make this work. I'm just being evil. She's like, well, when you're being an evil stepbrother, why don't you be an evil stepsister? So I got real, and I was like, interesting. And I was like, I'll just be real, sassy and fucking no.
You made the perfect twin.
Thank you. Just no, I don't like it. It's just so
I need to rent this.
melodic.
Do you know where it's streaming?
I don't know, in America, I'm not sure. But I just had so much fun.
It's on Prime?
Oh, there you go.
There it was?
Yeah, go check it out. It's pretty fun. And then you can see me in some tight pants and just real and like a pink fedora, and just
Just so you know, this came up in the last panel, because we were talking about TV gay icons and movie gay icons, and your character came up.
oh really?
Yes. There you go.
That's amazing. Because I didn't even, I was like, I'm not even, I guess like he would be considered, because he's not really, I don't see him as, I feel like that character was like asexual. And was just sort of like, yeah, I guess.
He just wanted to be a manager.
Yeah, like that's it, that's all he wants is like to just have success. So it never really mattered to him. But I guess like that's what you would just assume.
Right.
But he's just wanting to like come out on top. That's all he is. I was like, I'm just playing an evil stepsister. I just forget that I'm
Love it.
like, yeah, like I'm just an evil stepsister.
Good job, Queen.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
So this is like a very character-specific question,
Sure.
but we know obviously in the show Murphy's the cause of Raven's disability, and we know that Raven forgives him for it, like in season 4. But like, do you think Murphy ever forgave himself for that?
No,
Because they become
absolutely
such close
No,
friends.
he definitely did not forgive himself for that. Nor should he. Super fair. I'm glad she forgave him, but like he shouldn't forgive himself for that. It's like, yeah, he didn't know it was her. Like I was trying to shoot Bellamy's sister. It's like I don't know if it makes it better, but yeah, he didn't forgive himself for that. But that's like it was such a cool thing. The longer that we went on with the show, the more important Murphy and Raven became to each other, and like that special connection that they had. And I get there's some people here that like would have wanted some people ship them, which Emory's who John should be. That's like point blank. That's the end of that discussion. But there is something to be said about how special that connection between Murphy and Raven is and was, because. And I think he like, I don't know if he ever would have had the guts to like ask her out. Because I think he more so looked up to her, in a way. I think he looked up to her. I think he looked up to the person that she is. And like probably helped him try to turn the corner, be a better person. It was probably the two most important people for that would be Amoria and Raven. Really the two that drove him to what he eventually was.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
All right, last year I asked every cast member if they had to play another character on the show, who would they play? By far, the number one answer was Murphy. So congratulations.
Yeah, sure, they'd like it if they can.
Agreed. So if you were to play another character on the show, who would you want to play?
Probably another situation where I'd like to, but I can't. Jaha. Seriously, I bet no one ever said that. But like, those lines are really good. Also, McCreary, I just like this, and I think what Lily Miller did with that was so special. Such a baddie. You don't need your wings to fly. I remember he said that, and I was like, man, so cool. This dude is so cool. We had our first day working together, me and him, was when he had me tied up, and I kept hearing that Jason and Dean were like, we were bringing on this guy because he worked on a pilot with them in the off season. They were bringing in an actor from that. You'd love him. He's like you. He's really good. Not that like no one else. It's like not that me is good. It's just the way that he works, and like the kind of thing that he brings to it. Like he reminds us of you. And I took that personally. And I was like, put him in scenes with me. I want him. I want him. And they put me in a scene where he obviously has the power in the scene because I'm all gagged and tied up. But I remember he got in my face and I spat in his face through the gag. Unscripted. Spat right into his face through the gag and just like showed him my teeth. And it was just like I hear you're fucking good, dude. Like, do it. And he immediately, like, to get up, he put like my head through something on the way up, and I was like, ow, yeah, okay, good. And we didn't talk. I stayed in, gag, and everything in the scene in between setups, and I was just staring at him furiously, like in between, and I think he was like, oh, this is cool. And then we wrapped, and I shook his hand, and I was like, man, that was a pleasure, and he went, pleasure was mine. And he went, beer? And I went, yep. And we went out that night, the first time we met, went out to the hotel that they had him in, went to the hotel bar, had a couple beers, as I sometimes like to do. You may have noticed. And then we've been friends ever since. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That was a real roundabout way to answer that question. I'm sorry.
So, I noticed the Murphy hats are black and teal, which are the colors of PTSD awareness. So, I know throughout the series, Murphy kind of struggles with PTSD. So, was it just a coincidence that they made the hat the colors for PTSD, or is it more like an awareness for PTSD?
I don't know. That's a very good question. And, like, wonderfully astute. I don't know, because I didn't choose the colors for the hats. That's probably something you'd have to ask them. But I didn't know that. And I'm glad you can kind of see that that was a big part of Murphy's journey, no doubt, for like many different things and things setting him off in certain ways. And yeah, that's really well spotted. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have about 6 minutes, so let's get through our questions.
What?
We got 6, we have a schedule.
It's an hour?
No, it's a half hour, sorry.
That's bullshit.
I know. Talk to Bob, because Bob and Bree have an hour next. I know.
They're gonna have a half hour.
Okay.
Hi, so as someone who's been there, in the scene where Murphy contemplates suicide, what was it like filming that and how did you prepare?
Ooh, yeah, good question. Yeah, I suppose in that scene for him, it was a question of, he never believed that door was ever going to be opened again, so there was no way out, and whether or not he could do it himself and go against the number one thing that defines him, which is survival. He just wants to keep living. And I think that, at the end of the day, is why he could not pull that trigger. Even though he believed that he would end up dead of starvation and dehydration in a very short period of time after that, he wasn't gonna go out that way. He couldn't, no matter how hard he tried. And that's what I just had to keep reminding myself in that scene, is like, to Murphy and to me, life, even when it's shitty, and even if it looks like there's no way out, it's always worth living. And that's what I think is the same thing.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Cynthia from Uruguay, and the whole continent to meeting you.
Amazing. I mean, not just me, everyone. Or was it?
No, just you.
Ah, fantastic.
You are my favorite character. Every time that a Murphy scene comes, I say, oh yeah, there is a Murphy scene. Like, I was enjoying just your scenes, and I would like to ask you, how did you feel filming? It was hard, it was challenging, it was funny. Did you have to imagine a lot of things, or there were everything there?
It was just always the best. Like, I loved whatever they asked me to do for Murphy. I think they did such a good job writing him. And I think that it grew with what I was bringing to him. Jason did such a good job of picking up on that and being like, oh, okay, we can take it that way. So we kind of, that character's 50-50, me and him, honestly. Like, I give him so much credit for it.
You customize it.
Yeah. And so it was always, no matter how hard the scene was, like, it's like if I'm doing what I love for a living, and it's pretty great. Yeah.
Awesome. I enjoy seeing you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Come on up.
Okay, so I know this is more of a 100-based binge, but I've watched a lot more of your work, and I wanted to know, what was your favorite part in filming in the Van Helsing series?
I had such a feeling that you were about to say Van Helsing. Because that might have been the most fun character I've ever played.
It was greatly enjoyable to watch.
Thank you. If you've never seen that, see that. I'm in 3 episodes of the Van Helsing TV show in season 3, I think.
Season 4, I believe.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, it shows my now. And I play this like concentration camp owner, for lack of a better word, I didn't know what I just said, and then you're like, you said it was the most fun? Yes. And he's like running drugs, and he's doing copious amounts of illicit drugs up his nose, and smoking cigars in like every scene, and he blows someone's head off whenever he feels like it. It was so much fun. So my favorite part of that was torturing my buddy Vincent Gale, who I've known for years, up against like, you know Vince? Someone knows Vince? Yeah. And he's tied up, and I remember we did blocking, which is like rehearsal before rehearsal, and I was doing some of the things minorly, and I remember Vince walked away. Because it was like really like, I was taking big swings with that role. And I did an audition for it, so I was like, hope you like what you're getting. And they were like, we hired you to do whatever you want. Like, I spoke in Spanish in one scene for no reason. And then they were like, keep moving on. Nailed it. Yeah, I did the blocking, and then we were walking back to finish makeup, and Vince called from like 30 feet away, and he was like, Richard. And I looked at him, and he went, keep that shit up. And I was like, I will. So thank you for watching. It was great. I had so much fun. That might be the most fun I've ever had. Because there was no no's. They never told me no for any idea I had. I would just do it. Yeah, I would just do it, and they would go, moving on. That's enough. Yeah.
All right, we have time for 2 questions, quickly.
I'll be quick. So, given that we've already talked about this enigmatic masterpiece that is Grave Encounters 2,
Yes.
Was there ever talk, based on how it ended, of a Grave Encounters 3?
They actually did. The name, I think I would have come back with that if they did it. They had a really great idea, but I don't think I can say it just in case they want to do it one day. But yeah.
You'd still be open to...
I would, honestly, yeah. Why not? I can tell you for a fact, shooting a found footage movie is the most frustrating thing in the world. Like, I hate that, and I swore I'd never do another one, but I would do one more for them. Yeah, it was awful.
Also,
it's just terrible.
if they bring the pong table out tonight, I'm challenging you to a rematch after.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Last question, sorry for everyone else.
Sorry, everyone. Hey, dude.
Hi, I am, what was your hardest show or movie you played in?
There's a very easy answer to that for a very specific reason. It was The Killing. I played a very not good person, and not in a fun way. He was just not a good person. And on that, I had trigger warning. The sexual violence is about to be brought up. My character on camera rapes another character, and that in no way is ever not going to be hard to do. We're all still friends to this day, so it all went well, and like it was all good, and everyone was fine.
Yeah.
But it's not like a fun. You don't go to set that day being like, whoopee! Like no, like you're not. You're constantly after every taking like, you all good? Is everything okay? Is there anything I need to do differently? All that. There's just so much more communication that needs to happen on a scene like that than you would usually like to have.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you, Tim.
Before we wrap up really quickly, is there anything else besides Final Destination you would like to plug or tell us to look out for you?
Everyone watches Law and Order Toronto.
Hey, Lola did an episode too.
Did she?
Yeah, Law and Order Toronto.
Fantastic. I'm a villain. Real spoiled rich brat.
Surprise. Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah,
and it was fun. That, I'm on an episode of Alerts coming up.
Alert.
Yeah, also, I can't say if I'm a villain or not. I'm a villain. And then a couple other movies that I did last year that I don't think have any timetable for coming out yet, so there's really no reason to talk about it. May 16th, Final Destination in IMAX. It's a little, the space doesn't need to be that large,
No.
but it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Richard, for being here.
Thanks everyone for coming to my panel. I wish you were welcome.
No, sorry, dude.
That's horseshit, Joe. Sorry for all the swearing.
see if Bob and Marie are ready. Stand by. Or sit by.
Richard, would you ever get a step up?
Not after that. No, and also it's annoying to have it in every day. And it's just not like runs up against my today, so it's terrible. But I like it. I would get an industrial if I ever got it.
They feel really shitty. Yeah, it's really high maintenance and you can fucking shit up really easily.
I had a nipple piercing when I was 18.
Okay, you can do anything.
And yeah, it broke off my body surgery. So I got out and I was like, oh, that's just on the last day. I can see it in the back of the hill. I'm sure it was a pilot of
Running a few minutes behind, so talk amongst yourselves.
Don't tell her. I'm hoping to I'm trying to. Murphy loves you. You don't need to be here for this, man. I'm not taking any more questions about the sweater. It's too hot. I took it off.